Okay guys, in this video I'm going to do a rebuild of the tiny QX90 that I tore down in the last video. And here's the flight controller and the FreeSky receiver that came with it. I have added a 1.25 millimeter micro JST connector here, which I'm going to pair with the FX798T. Sadly, the crash also damaged the camera that came with the QX90, so I can't use that, although I really wanted to. The frame I'm going to be putting this on is the Diatone 110mm brushed frame. It has these little rubber grommets here for 8.5mm motors. I'm not going to use the other parts it came with. It comes with like this top plate and some standoffs, but the positioning of the standoffs is in a bad spot. Can't really get the camera in there with an angle, so I'm not going to be able to use it. I'm going to be using Spintech motors to replace those junky motors that came with the original. I've been using these on all of my micros and they've been working pretty well. And this bigger frame here is going to let me use these 65mm Gem Van propellers. And these are, I've been using these on the micro review build, and these are pretty good power. And I'm going to run the whole video from start to finish just to show you how easy this is to put together. It's really only takes like about half an hour. Hopefully this video won't be that long, but if you watch the whole thing, you'll get an idea of how easy these are to put together, and they really are that easy. So just hang in there. Okay, so I got the camera on the other side of where I'm sitting so that I could work on putting this together, and I'll hopefully try and keep everything in frame. I can't really see the camera angle that well from my position, but I will try and keep everything in frame as much as possible. First thing we gotta do is mount the flight controller to the board, and we can just do that with some double-sided foam tape. So I'm just going to put one smaller piece here in this gap here, and then I'm going to put another larger piece over this whole thing and cover up the CPU. Okay, there we go. We got the flight controller mounted there with some double-sided foam tape. It should hold pretty good. Next we're going to go ahead and put in our motors in here and then solder them up. So the ones with the white and black wires will go into motors 2 and 3, and then the which are counterclockwise, and then the red and blue wires are the clockwise motors. They go into motors 1 and 4. Okay, so we just have to solder on the motor wires here, and all the positives are on the left towards the battery lead, and in this case the red wire is going to be positive and the blue wire is negative. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good for that. Okay, so in the case of the white and black wires, the white is going to be positive and the black is going to be negative. Okay, so there's all 4 motor wires soldered in. I'm going to now mount the receiver here to the top of the flight controller with some double-sided foam tape. Okay, so the receiver's now mounted. It should hold there pretty good. I'm going to now secure these motor wires with some dental floss here to the arm so they don't get chopped up by the propellers. Okay, so I got this little camera mount here that I made from some cut-up credit cards and a bamboo stick. And it's got some double-sided foam tape here and the dual lock. That's what I'm going to use to mount my camera. And it has a little bit of a tilt angle there. Okay, so there's the camera mounted. It's pretty simple to do. I'm going to use probably some rubber bands or something to secure it to the frame. This dual lock stuff's pretty strong. It's not going to come off, but they might come off in a crash, and I don't want to lose it. So I'm gonna just probably maybe use some dental floss or some rubber bands to tie the antenna portion here to the frame so that it won't get lost in a crash. There's not much else really to do to get this thing to fly. It's got to put the props on. I'm going to probably put a little bit of hot glue here around the edges of the bottom of the motor can so that in a crash the bottoms don't pop off. And just got to put a little dual lock here on the bottom here for my battery. And that's it. It's ready to go. So it doesn't really take that long to make these things. Let me know if you guys have any questions about how to build these in the comment section below. If you got one of these tiny QX90s and have the same problems that I did where it crashed and wasn't fly well, try this mod. It's just basically the flight controller and the FreeSky receiver and some better motors here. I highly recommend these SpinTech motors. Are pretty good. I'll have some video up pretty soon here in a few days, hopefully, on this maiden and the fly of this. I fully expect it to fly just as well as the Microview. This is pretty much the same frame as the Microview, just a little bit narrower in the back, so it should fly pretty well. Anyway, guys, hope you liked this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.